it's Hailey, and today I'm going to be showing you guys my September TBR. So this is so exciting because every September since I've been on BookTube, I always include books that I have to read for school, but I freaking graduated in May? No. Wow, that's really sad. I finished school in April, but my graduation was in June. Oh boy, I'm a mess. But I have no school books on this TBR. This is the first time where I have not had to go back to school in September. It is friggin' terrifying, but I'm so excited too because I have so much more time for activities, and it means that fall can actually start at the end of September, because for me, fall always used to start when school would start because I would be like, yeah, now it's fall. That brightens up my mood right away. But I still have a ton of summer books on my TBR, so I was like, you know, I need to read some of those. So I'm extending summer until it actually is over when fall starts. That sentence went interesting directions, but you get the point. But basically, I bought a bunch of books this summer being like, I'm gonna be in the mood to read contemporary, we're gonna do that, blah, 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 blah. And then in August, I was like, fantasy! So that is what has been happening. But if you guys watched my August TBR, I threatened future Hailey for if she hadn't read Wonder Woman Warbringer, as well as, where is it? It's right next to me, I think. It's somewhere. It's under a pile of books in front of me. Where is it? I found it! Akawar! I threatened myself if I hadn't read those two books, then I was going to basically whoop my own ass, and I am currently reading this. I'm almost done. I'm going to be done by the end of the month. I'm actually not almost done. I still have quite a bit, but I have been sitting in this very chair right here, reading it and getting so engrossed in it and really enjoying it. So I am so proud of myself because it took me so long to read this, but I finally did it. So now I have the freedom to choose whatever I want for my TBR for September, but it is kind of a mess because I don't really know what I want to read, which is the mood I was in last month. It's kind of the mood I've been in recently, is not really knowing what the heck I want to do with my life, which is translating into my reading. So this TBR is a mess. It's quite big. Honestly, realistically, if I were showing you my September TBR, I would be holding all of the books on this shelf, like these two shelves, my TBR area right here, because I don't know what I want to do. But I managed to narrow it down, and this is a really long intro, so let's just get into it. So first of all, I have 3 books that I kind of have to read in September, and they are all ARCs that I received from Chapters Indigo, so thank you so much to them for sending them to me. I have had them for a very long time, and I have not read them yet because I'm awful. Seriously, some of these I am pretty sure I got in 2016, so like, way to go, girl. The kitten just stuck her paw under my door, and I swear to God, I thought it was a human finger, and I was ready to go and karate chop that shit off. But this is what you wanted! Oh my goodness, now we're crabby. You asked me for this. Anyways, first up is Wild Beauty by Anna Marie McLemore. I don't know why I haven't read this yet because it's a magical realism. It has a beautiful cover. That's everything I love in life, so I'm very excited to read this, but I really need to do it before it comes out so then I can do a bibliobabble for it, which, if you didn't watch my Wonder Woman one, I have decided to call my reviews / discussions bibliobabble because I babble and it's biblio, which is books, and it's fun! I just thought of it right now, but ideally I would also like to read Umberland by Wendy Spinelli because this came out in May and I've had the ARC for quite a while now and I still haven't read it, so. I've also really been into Alice in Wonderland retellings recently, so it might be the time. Next is The Midnight Dance by Nikki Katz. All I know about this, because I got it so long ago, is that it has to do with dance, which really doesn't tell you anything that the title didn't tell you. But it's coming out in October, and I don't remember if I mentioned, but Wild Beauty is coming out in September, so I need to get on this as well, and I'll kind of still be ahead of the game if I do read this in September. And lastly for ARCs is This Darkness Mine by Mindy McGinnis. Mindy McGinnis is the author of The Female of the Species, which I read last year and really, really enjoyed. This is kind of a thriller, I believe, sort of psychological thriller, if I remember correctly, but it's coming out in October, and it sounds like kind of the perfect Halloween time read to kind of get me in that mood, so maybe around the end of September I will pick this one up. So the next 3 books are kind of summertime reads because, like I said, I am making my summer last a little bit longer, or I'm at least adhering to the calendar a little bit more this year. So first of all is Everything All at Once by Katrina Leno. This kind of reminds me of 13 Little Blue Envelopes by Maureen Johnson, which I wasn't a huge fan of, but I feel like this could be better. It's basically about this girl who her aunt has died and she left her a bunch of letters, and her aunt was this famous author, and the letters are just telling her to do all these different things. Sounds very cool, and I'm quite excited because it's gotten some really good reviews, so I'm looking forward to it. Next up is Words in the Deep Blue by Kath Crowley. This is a book that I honestly just picked up because it has books on the cover, and I was like, ooh, I I like books, and it's kind of a bookstore set romance, which I was like, I work in a bookstore, could this happen to me? It won't, but a girl can dream. So it sounds adorable, and it's super short, so I think will be the perfect quick summertime read. And lastly, for summer reads is Love and Gelato by Jenna Evans Welch. This has been on my past like 3 or 4 or maybe even 5 TBRs, and have I picked it up yet? Nope. But it honestly does seem like it's going to be an adorable summery read because it takes place in Florence and it's a romance and it's just like a vacation sort of thing. It sounds great. And actually not Florence, it's in Tuscany, so the Tuscany region, but I'm pretty sure they do end up in Florence in it. But I'm pretty sure my friend read this and really enjoyed it, and she has another romance coming out that I think is set in Ireland, so I need to read this one because I've heard honestly nothing but good things about it. So like, what is my problem? Next, I assigned myself a classic to read because at the beginning of the year I set out the goal of reading at least one classic every month, which is something that I've done for the past 2 or 3 years, and I have been successful with it, but that's mostly because for school I have to read classics because they're assigned to me and they're required reading. But ever since I was done school and I just became really busy, I haven't read a classic in a very long time, so now I need to get back on that. I did read Wizard of Oz recently, which is awesome, but I just went a couple of months without reading any, so I kind of want to get ahead of the game so then I can get back on track with reading 12 classics a year. So the one that I'm thinking of for September is The Wind in the Willows by Kenneth Grahame. This is one that I have actually never really heard of before. Like before I came on BookTube and was looking at children's classics and stuff, because I love children's classics, they are my babies. I had never heard of this one, but it's one that my mom said she thinks she read for school when she was a kid, so I feel like it will be a cute one. And it looks like it's about animals, which is always fun, so cool. And the last 3 books are just random ones that I was like, you're sticking out to me on my shelf, so we will include you in this video. So first of all is The Looking Glass Wars by Frank Bador. I have been recommended this book a million times, and I finally picked it up, and I want to actually read it now that I have it. And it's an Alice in Wonderland retelling, and like I said, I have been super into Alice in Wonderland retellings recently, and I want to do kind of a noob's guide to Alice in Wonderland retelling. So this is one of the last ones that I have to read, at least out of the ones that I have, so I definitely need to get on that so I can get that video to you. Next up is Out of the Easy by Rudy Sepetys. I love historical fiction, and I love it especially for around fall time, so I feel like this is one that I will end up picking up near the end of the month, or really whenever I'm feeling like, yep, it's fall, pumpkin everything, sweaters, all that jazz, which really is my default mood, but like when I'm actually feeling like it's fall outside. So this is set in 1950s New Orleans, and that is a time period and a place that I have never read about, so I'm excited, especially because I love Rudy Sepetys so much, so I'm all about this. Next up is Wicked Like a Wildfire by Lana Popovich. This is a fantasy that has a beautiful cover, and I really want to read it to see if the inside matches the outside. That's really all that I have to say. Oh my god, I almost forgot new releases. Girl, what is coming out in September? Now I have to check on my phone. So I know for sure Tower of Dawn by Sarah J Maas is one that's coming out in September, and that's definitely one that I'm hoping I'll be able to read in either September or October, so we'll put that tentatively on my September TBR. Oh my god, there are so many books coming out in September. This is a game changer. I also have some arcs that I requested that I don't know if I'm getting yet, so they're not in yet, so if I get those, that totally changes my TBR. Warcross by Marie Lu was one of them, as well as Jane Unlimited by Kristen Kishore. So, or is it Kashore? I don't really know, but like if I get those, game changer. The Language of Thorns by Leigh Bardugo is also coming out in September. That one I'm definitely going to read because I am so excited for it. It's like fairy tales from the Grisha universe. Oh my god, that sounds amazing. Those are all of the ones that are coming out that I really need to read, at least from my sleuthing, though there are probably some that I missed. So as you can see, this TBR is a mess. My life is a mess. That's fine. But that is all for today's TBR. Let me know what is on your September TBR, and if you guys wanted to make sure that you keep up with all my videos and don't miss anything, then you can subscribe. I put out new videos every Tuesday and Thursday and other days as well, but once again, we're not getting into that madness because it just becomes confusing for everyone. And if you wanted to keep up with everything else with me, I have Twitter. My Twitter handle is @HailesInBookland, and I also have Instagram, which I love updating, and that handle is @HaileyInBookland. That one's the same as my YouTube, but my Twitter couldn't be because damn character limit. But that information is all down below. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!